streamed it on Twitch, got all the way through it, uh, and then somewhere halfway in between the final boss round, uh, Twitch cut out, and so my stream got cut off right as I was killing the boss. And I think that's one of the most important parts of this entire thing. Like VMA, like the final boss is one of the hardest, so kind of have to do it all over again. So we're going to change some gear up a little bit for that reason. I went through it in hard mode before. I'll show you what I ran if you guys want to go back and look at that and see some of the funny stuff. I hadn't ran on my Sorc in a while, and so getting used to the skills was a little bit different. I dropped a Destro ulti in between rounds, which was very amusing. So there's some laughs to be had. I'll probably try and pull those out for you guys because they were at least amusing to me. I talked about the Magicka Nightblade, and I talked about last time, Magicka Nightblade is one of the easier ones to do it. Like the easiest one, in my opinion, is the Magicka Sorc. And the reason that is because they just have so many ways to get damage, and they're the tankiest class in VMA because of Hardened Ward. How you survive on this class is just your survivability with this class, your sustain, your damage is just really, really good. There's not many weaknesses with the sorcerer. The best way to go about doing VMA is running a pet build, running like 5-piece necropotence. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do non-pet, so I'll make it a little bit harder, but I am going to change one thing up and wear a monster set. I'm wearing 1-piece Moon Dancer on the front bar. The 1-piece stats are just fantastic. Look at that. Look at all those 1-piece stats. 1-piece Infallible Aether. You want to have 1 piece of both on both bars. No, the reason I'm doing this is just because these are my gold staffs. I didn't want to run a VMA staff. That we're going to pretend like this is the first time we've been in VMA, or the first time we're going into VMA. We don't have a VMA staff yet. We want to beat it. VMA staff would be better. It would give me more damage. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to show you the mechanics, to show you the rotation, to show you that you can do this. So I did this, like I said yesterday. Where I am going, though, is I will be cheating a little bit, and I will be running 2-piece Alambris this time. I did it yesterday without it, and actually, I don't know if I can run 2-piece Alambris right now. Yeah, I can. So, I'm going to run 2-piece Alambris, and then 5-piece Julianos. Alambris is really easy to get, guys. I mean, I wouldn't recommend going into VMA with less than like 250 CP. So while you're getting CP, go do a couple dungeons. When you get over 160, do Crypto Hearts. It's easy. You get Alambris. Alambris is a very good set for a sorcerer. When you deal flame or shock damage, you have a 10% chance. You see it. It does 1478 damage. You can proc both of these on a sorcerer. So you can proc the shock and flame damage, and it just drops in an area, and it will drop on our dots, and it makes it really easy. We were running 3-piece willpower. I did run 1-piece recovery because we'll need it. 1-piece recovery I just found helped me a little bit because I hadn't been in here a while. So as far as our skills go, because we're not running a pet build with this specific setup or with this specific run, instead of putting a pet here, we're going to put Bound Aegis. Now what Bound Aegis does is increase our max Magicka by 8%, makes our wards bigger, makes our damage better. That's why we're running it. If you run Necropotence and you want to run the pet build, which is definitely better, in the spots for Bound Aegis, you just put your pet. It's a toggle just like the pets are, so you have to put it on both bars. So Bound Aegis, Power Surge, this is going to give us our major sorcery, and on top of that, this is what heals us. When we take damage, we're going to put our Hardened Ward on, we're going to keep our dots down, and when Power Surge is up, every time we crit, this is going to heal us. This is what is going to keep us alive. I'm going to talk about it a lot when we're in here, but you will be able to tell when your Power Surge is down, and this is what basically makes or breaks a good run as a sorcerer. All of a sudden you take damage and you put a ward on and you start putting stuff down. If all of a sudden you don't see your health shoot back to full, your Power Surge is down and you need to put your Power Surge back on. This is the most important skill. It has a really long duration, but sometimes you forget in the heat of the moment. So remember to keep that up. Hardened Ward, very, very powerful. Like I said, we'll be able to basically face tank everything. There's no need for dodge rolling. There's no need for anything. Like, we'll be able to absorb most damage. If we see a big thing coming, we could just put our Hardened Ward on. We're going to have so much max Magicka that this is what's going to keep us alive for the most part. Look at Lightning. One of the best Sorc DPS skills in the game. Blockade of Storms. This is the Wall of Elements. This is the Wall of Elements, the Lightning form. This will set people off balance, or has a chance to. And then we're running Thunderous Rage. Front bar, we're running Crystal Frags, Bound Aegis, Mage's Wrath, Inner Light for the 5% max Magicka and the crit, Force Pulse, and Overload. Now the reason I'm running Overload, and this is the only reason, sometimes, I don't have it, but if you get good with Sustain on a Sorc and you don't need that extra access to utility, I would recommend just slotting Meteor, but it really helps for Sorc's learning. Like all of a sudden you beat a round and like, you know, you're not really focused on your sustain, but you get into the next round and you die right away because you weren't ready for it. You know, all of a sudden your magic is close to 0, your recovery's not high enough, and then you just drop over dead. And then you get mad and, you know, then you have to restart the round and you're a little bit more frustrated. What the Overload bar is for me, is I go into Overload and I use this skill. Where's it at? Dark Conversion. So it only costs 2,000 stamina. It's very cheap, but you get 8,000 health and 4,700 Magicka. So in between rounds, if all of a sudden you mess up and you have an Overload, you go into Overload, you Dark Conversion your Magicka back to full, you restart the round. It's a really easy way to recover your resources if you make a mistake. And sometimes it's just going to happen. You'll see me do it a few times because I just haven't been on Sorc in a while. This isn't the most optimal. Obviously, like, I'm just giving you a way to be able to sustain a little bit better. And so, you know, when you get better at this and you do more heavy attacks and you get ready with heavy attacks before the next round, that's great. But if you make that mistake, then you can use this. That's the only reason it's on the bar, not because we're going to try and bring back the old Overload Sorc build. So as far as our stats go, I'm going to run the Mage Mundus for more max Magicka. Makes it a little bit easier to survive in here. Our damage isn't going to be as good. Lover or Warrior, or Lover or Apprentice would be better. This is slightly worse, but, you know, showing that you can do it with less damage makes us go through the mechanics, and then I can show you guys the mechanics and how to beat it. And then when you start getting really good DPS and you start running really good gear and flying through this thing, you'll be able to see that, you know, it really doesn't matter a whole lot. Like, you'll be able to skip a lot of the mechanics and you'll be able to beat it a lot faster than what I'm going to beat it at today. Now, I'm going to just say, again, like, this isn't going to be a high score run. This is just me talking about the mechanics. This is just me talking about the class, like what to do. I'm going to try and talk about it in real time again. I think a lot of people got a lot of good feedback from it when I did it on my Nightblade, so I'm going to do it on this class as well. These are our stats on our back bar. These are our stats on our front bar. 46,000 magic. Let me buff up. 56% crit, 2,700 spell damage. That is going to buff up over 3,000 because we do have spell damage enchants on our bar. So 1,500 magic recovery. Once again, 5 Julianos, 3 willpower, 2 dummy staffs. I am running 2 Alambris this time because I want to show you just how easy it makes it in here. And, you know, a pet would make it easier, but Alambris plus the dots are going to just be ridiculous. So basically the gist of this, like, just like the, you know, Magicka Nightblade, we're going to go in and we're going to apply our dots. And for the big ad pulls, we do have a lightning staff. We're going to put down our liquid lightning, we're going to put down our wall, and we can kind of just let everything come to us. The ads have to come fight us, so we can just let them attack us. And then we can use our lightning staff if we're low on resources. It's in AoE. You know, like heavy lightning staff attacks do splash damage. And so that's the best way to just kill ads. And I'm hard casting frags already. So that's Alambris right there. And oftentimes it's going to proc in your dots, and it's just basically another dot. Yeah, if I take a bunch of damage, all I'm going to do is all I'm going to do if I take a bunch of damage is put a ward on and then go back to DPSing, because the ward's gonna last for 6 seconds, and every time I hit with a crit, it's going to heal me. So our DPS is what's going to heal us in this. It's very similar to like a Magicka Templar for that way, but it's so much healing. And you'll see sometimes when I take a bunch of damage and I just heal back to full almost instantly. See right there. So I took some damage, healed up just by putting a ward on. My ward's still on. I'm at full health. And the round's over. So our Thunderous Rage is going to do a shit ton of damage. We're going to buff up with Power Surge before the round. Put down our Liquid Lightning. Full heavy attack for the Magicka return. He's dead. Took some damage. Put a ward back up. And then I'm back to full health. Since we have the boss round coming up, I'm not going to use I am not going to use my ulti, because I want to keep my Magicka. And I want to keep my ultimate for the boss fight. So you see right here, I messed up, so I can come in here and I can hit Dark Conversion a couple times. Now I'm starting the fight, basically with full resources. He's gonna move. That's it. That's the first round. You know, not the best DPS by any means. Obviously, there's better gear out there. Once you get a VMA staff, you'll be able to melt it a lot faster. But that's the gist of the round. That's the gist of like how we're going to survive in here. And so, when we go through each round, I'm going to talk about the specifics of that round again, in case you guys didn't watch my Magicka Nightblade setup and you're just curious about this one. So these switches stop those flying blades from shooting around. The main thing about like this round in general is trying to avoid some damage from the spinning blades. But when you take some damage, just remember it's the same thing as before. Like each class, you have to know how you survive. You know, Stam classes use Vigor. This one, you're going to use your Power Surge, and so as long as your Power Surge is up, you will stay alive when you're doing damage. Like those are just two really big damage over time effects that are ticking, you know, 56% of the time. Every second you're basically going to get a crit, and then you're going to pop back to full health. Buff up with our Power Surge beforehand. But I only really put a ward on the minute I take damage. Or when you get good and you know like certain parts where you're naturally going to take a bunch of heat, you can put a ward on beforehand. Like that part right there, I know that guy shoots a long beam at me, and so I put a ward on beforehand just in case I, you know, eat it. We're gonna drop our Thunderous Rage right here. See how I heal back to full, and the round's over. Yeah, Lambrus just makes it super easy. It just coincides with our dots so well. Just such a strong Sorc monster set. You don't need a Lambrus, you could run Grottar if you wanted to. It's just, Sorcs can proc both. You know, like, that guy just got melted. By both, I mean they can proc both the Fire and Lightning effect. You know, whereas other classes can only proc one, typically. Once again, we're going to save our ulti because I think the boss round is next. We also don't have an ulti, so it's pretty easy to save it at that point. Stop the blades right here. Full heavy attack into the portal for the return. I'm just going to stay out of the way of the AoE. I'm going to take it slow. Now I'm running with the blades, which is not smart. You don't want to run with the blades like that. You burn a lot of magicka. Oh. So I'm going to wait until they all pull into the same area. Oh, you see how I'm not healing there? That means my power surge is down. See how once I put it back up, my health went back to full. Wait for him to come over here. While he's shooting, we're just gonna overload. We're gonna play it patient. Only dodge rolling there so I didn't have to block. Oh, well, I don't know why I did that. So now we just made a couple mistakes here. We're just going to keep our dots down, do a full lightning attack. If you mess up, guys, I mean the easiest way to do this is just to drop your lightning. Just do full heavies. This guy's almost dead. Apply your dots, execute. Not dead? Okay. Yeah, once you get really good at that round, literally all you have to do is just like drop an ulti on one boss, melt him, drop the next one down to 50%, and then you're just basically on to, you know, the next round. You just do so much damage. Full heavy attack. We're gonna do another full heavy attack here. We're gonna walk into our dots. So we just stood by our dots and allowed him to walk into it, and then he died. In a lot of these rounds, if you're running low on sustain, you know, if you're a little worried about your magicka, you know, all you have to do is put your dots down and then you do lightning attacks and let everything come to you. We're gonna drop our Thunderous Rage right here. I'm gonna put a ward on because I'm gonna take some heat from a bunch of ads, maybe the boss. Round's over. Now with this round, you want to try and take out these stranglers because they're just pains in the ass. Oh, power surge isn't up. Buff up that really quick. This green circle basically keeps us healed. So when you see that, don't try and run away from it. It's a free way to just stay alive. We're gonna stay by our Lambrus proc. Look at lightning down. Ball of Elements down, Lambrus down. That's going to stun us, so we want to stay away from that. We're going to buff up on the boss. He's going to Wrecking Blow, which we're going to block. Not try to hit him. See how these... I'm snared right now, so literally all I'm going to do is stack shields. I'm not going to panic. Drain my stamina dodge rolling, because in case you get CC'd, you're just going to die that way. So that guy died. Sometimes you get snared by the stranglers. You can't do it. Okay. So they just snare you to shit. And so you just kind of want to keep your wards up. Know that you're tanky. Know that your wards are going to keep you there. I'm getting snared right here because I got 2 stranglers. So all I'm going to do is keep my wards up, lightning attack, kill everything via lightning staff. Come over here, keep my wards up, reapply my wards. I'm not going to save or drop my ultimate because we're onto the boss round, so want to try and save it for that. Let me get some resources back here really quick. Kill this guy. So I'm going to save my Thunderous Rage for the first ad pull. Makes it a little bit easier. I kind of pull back over here, pull him into it. You can see you can just literally face tank things. Like, this is stuff you can't do on a Stam class, you know. Once he drops to low health, then you execute. It's not going to give you a super high score or anything like that. Like, I'm not built for a high score right now. But it's just an easy way to complete. Just remember to keep your ward up. Remember to keep your hardened ward and your power surge. And every time you take damage and you see your health bar affected, just put your shield back on. Same thing for PvP, you know? Same thing, it's just these ads always come to you. PvP, not so much. And the more you can do full heavy attacks into portals, the better your sustain's going to be. Get used to the pulls, get used to what characters you can attack, the timing for it. Full heavy attacks return a lot of resources, and then that allows you to sustain a lot better. My health's not going up. Power surge. That's it. We can get some of our resources back. Now, I said it in the last one, and I haven't said it in this one yet, but if you're having a hard time on any one of these rounds, like something's giving you fits, you know, and you just can't beat it right now, like you want to move on and like you're getting in your own head, totally get it. I recommend using the power sigils. The power sigils will save your ass. I'm just doing full heavy attacks there because it's an ad pull. Want to be a full Magicka. These Dwarven Spheres do a bunch of damage. You want to try and avoid that. We're going to ward up. He didn't die? Okay. But yeah, so they have a defense sigil, they have an attack sigil, there's a health sigil, and there's a speed sigil. So the attack sigil obviously boosts your attack. The defense sigil, what it does is it boosts your defenses, makes you harder to kill. But what it also does is it reflects projectiles. So there's some rounds, and I'll show it to you here, but there's some rounds that they're very ranged caster based, and they're kind of a pain in the ass starting out. And so to make it a little bit easier, you can take that, and every caster skill is going to get reflected back. And so if you're dealing with a bunch of archers, you know, just raining hell on you, what you can do is just pick up the defense sigil, and they're going to rain hell on each other. You know, they're going to kill themselves basically. Come over here, drop our liquid lightning on this guy. Now we're going to just keep our wards up. These guys are going to do a little bit of damage. We're going to keep our dots down. We're just going to lightning heavy attack. since we're going to have to stack our wards a little bit. Same thing for this group of ads. It's like 5 spiders, so just stay in the Liquid Lightning, stay in the Alambris. They all die. Now we have enough resources for this pull. Gonna save our ulti for the boss round. Okay. Hate it when they heal like that. One full heavy for the full resources. It's off balance. Oh. You don't want to get hit by that, typically. It's not a good idea. Now he's going to just basically run through our Thunderous Rage here. Take a bunch of damage. Reapply our dots. Apply our dots at the end here. We're going to full heavy attack because ads are going to spawn right here. We're going to keep our wards up. Rock our Alambris. When he goes green, you want to get underneath him. When he shoots that stuff, you don't want to be underneath him. Now he's an execute. Just Mage's Wrath spam. And it's over. So, pretty smooth so far. Not as laggy as it was yesterday. Yesterday I was encountering a bunch of lag, because that's what happens on Sundays. Figured I'd get a run in the morning. Makes for a little bit easier content, where I don't die in stupid ways and get frustrated and then don't talk and help you guys out. So, this first ad pull, you kind of want to just drop all your shit right here. Full heavy attack into the portal. Melt this guy right away. Melt that guy. You don't want to let the trolls run free. When you see them, you want to take them out, because what they're going to do is they're going to block. They'll destroy one of your platforms, and when they destroy a platform, I think it's a Nereid pops up, and then it's more characters you have to DPS. So try and take them out right away. Makes it a little bit easier. Drop my Destrol right here. The boss. She's beating on us, but our Power Surge is just healing us. Didn't even have to ward there. This one, to get up well, and then you can do a full lightning heavy to take this guy out. This one, a couple of these guys are going to spawn, a couple ogres. You can do the lightning heavy once again, just because ads. There's a caster in the back. You can prioritize her if you want. I like to at least get one ogre out of the way, because they hit kind of hard. This guy just doesn't need an ulti. Such a waste of a boss fight. Not that I'm complaining. So what we're going to do here, we're going to pull everything to the back, get all the casters up on the ice. And then the other guys are going to come to us. This guy will come to us eventually. There we go. And then for big spots like this, you just let everything melt in your Alambris and your dots. Once again. Drop our Destrol right here. Lightning heavies, keep our wards up, because it's a bunch of us all at the same time. Stay at the back of the ice here because we want to get the other casters on the ice. Just watch out for those guys. Keep an eye out for the guys like swinging their big sticks and doing those big attacks. Now that they're on the ice, I'm going to come over here. Oh, power surge went down. I got to put my wards on. I'm going to come over here because I can't bash the interrupt. Slight mess up there. Just be patient, keep your wards up, keep... Yeah. Now we're on the final round of this, so we're just waiting for... We're gonna save our ulti for the boss fight. Dash him really quick. Apparently we're double dashing. Now we're only doing a full heavy attacks because we're low on resources. We want to stay that. We want to keep our resources up before the boss fight. And we're done. Buff up with power. Get our resources back really quick. Now this one, I use my Thunderous Rage on the second platform, typically. Pull all the ads in. This guy's gonna make it a pain in the ass, isn't he? There we go. Oh, I didn't block his Wrecking Blow. It's okay. Just gonna do lightning heavies right now, get our resources back. Want to make sure we don't take a bunch of damage like that. Go back over here. Put down our dots because that's what's going to heal us. Get our resources before the next ad pull. Keep our wards up. This is where we're going to drop our Destro ulti. Drop our dots. Now she's going to take a bunch of damage in there. Now if you want to, you can pick up this defense sigil because there's a bunch of casters right here. This is the easiest way to do it. You see how it all reflects like I was telling you. Now you can focus the boss. Didn't have to do it because the boss is already in execute range, but if you're having a hard time with this round, this is definitely one of the harder initial fights. You get really frustrated. That's the easiest way to do it, is just go in a circle, save the power and defense sigil at the end, pick it up, execute. Now this one, there's going to be, each round there's going to be spiders that come out, and you can't kill the spiders. They'll just kill you. The only way to kill them, or to avoid them, is they're afraid of these little totems. And so what you want to do is you want to take this Horver here, kill him on a totem to open it up. When you open up all 5, what happens is all the ads get stunned and put on the ground for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, something like that. So if you're taking a lot of heat in a round, you can open up all these and then, fly through it. In general, as a Sorc, none of these rounds are going to give us an issue if we keep our wards up and we keep an eye on our resources. So see how the swarm's coming? We're going to stay on this yellow. When it starts flashing, we got to go to the next one. This is the end of the round, so we're going to drop our Thunderous Rage right here. Do full heavy attacks just to keep our resources up, and it's over. Pull him over here. And then there's going to be a spider that spawns, and he'll try and cover them. You want to stop him from doing that. If you don't have a totem open and these spiders happen, you will just die, because you will not be able to get to him in time. Oh, you want to block that big heavy attack. If you have stam, block it, because it CCs you and puts you on the ground. And sometimes when you're put on the ground during lightning phase, like the storm calling, it will get you killed. So always try to block that if you can. These guys are going to group up. They always do this. Just do full lightning attacks, get our resources back. It's the end of the round. Just got to go over here to scare the spiders away and execute. See that? If he CCs you in one of those, that's how you die, more often than not, in between these rounds. So remember to block if you have, or if you can, or just dodge roll out of the way. Not dead. Okay. What is this? Just gonna pull it all in. Keep our ward up in case we take damage from that. You see, I'm just not really panicking. It's just because of how tanky you are on a Sorc in general. Don't drain your stam when your Magicka is what's going to protect you. Now this guy's going to negate, and sometimes he wrecking blows now without you being able to see. Without you being able to see, which is just fucking awesome. I don't know why that's a thing, but we're going to pull him over here because basically when we kill him, ads are going to summon right here, and then we can kill them. Alright. Block. And we're going to drop our Thunderous Rage right here, kill all these ads. They're all going to melt at the same time. We're going to block right here, because we don't want to get CC'd with all this other stuff going on. Keep our power surge up. I don't know why this spider's still here. I've been at this. I've been at it forever. Same thing as before, bunch of ads, just lightning attacks. Pull this guy in over here, open this up. Block this. Apparently he missed. Block. I don't know. He's now those guys are dead. Now these guys, you can drop an ulti, but we have the boss round next, so just keep your wards up. Same old pull that we've been talking about. Gonna drain some stam right here. Alright. Oh, crap. So now, you'll see I have all of them uncovered except for one. The next time a Horror pops up, I'm going to drop hit. Keep my dots. There he is. Get over here, buddy. can do full lightning attacks here if you want. Once he's down to 50%, then you execute. There's a bunch of stuff because, you know, we're smart with our wards. Stay patient. Mage's Wrath. And it's over. But yeah, so my DPS right now is going to be lower than like a Pet Sorc. Max Magicka is very similar because we're running Bound Aegis. But you just have so much passive damage, especially with a pet. You hit that once and then they start doing the AoE pulse, then you lightning staff attack and you just clear ads. That's kind of what you do with a Pet Sorc. I wanted to do this because it's a little bit more difficult. And some people don't like pets, you know. I get it. Oh. We're Bound Aegis up. This round, just like the Magicka Nightblade, every class you just want to kind of keep your head on a swivel here. You want to look out for those plumes. You see that green plume right there? You don't want to be near it because what happens is there's going to be a collar. That's to explode. That poison and like health eating away at your you just get melted. Oh. Wow. Toggles. So what you want to do is you want to try and stay away from it. Once you see all these plumes exploding, you know that there's a venom caller up, you want to take her out first. First priority, more often than not, is archers. However, it will be her when she pops up. See how those are all exploding? I just stay away from them. You want to stay away from these because they're going to do the same thing. I see this is the volatile poison. I have to go clear it at one of these pools. If you get hit by it, that's what you have to do. You have to go to one of those pools. You only get to clear 2 of them per round. So you really don't want to get hit by volatile poison. Just going to do a full lightning here, get some resources back. Got an ad pull. Wards up, wall up. Oh. Once again, another pull. Drop all your stuff in the middle. Let everything come to you. You can use your lightning staffs to get your full resources back. Let your dots do the work. Now, for this, there's 2 archers that spawn on the left and the right. What I like to do is I like to put my dots on one and then go DPS the other. Because I want to try and kill them at about the same time. If you can kill them, when you kill one, the Wamasu spawns right there. And so, if you kill them at the same time, then you have one less thing to deal with. Hopefully I got her in it. I think I did. Yeah. And the Wamasu is much easier to deal with when you don't have an archer doing full heavy attacks on you. Okay, you just drop your ulti there, and it's over. This round, archers spawn in the middle. Everything else comes to you. So you just focus the archer, and then you let the other stuff come and beat on you like this. And you'll see everything else has really low health, so they're not hard to kill. But this archer has some one-shot mechanics that are what will get you killed. These guys, the only thing that they do that can get you killed is they will CC you, and then if you're by a poison plume, you will get poisoned, and then you can die that way. These guys just keep your wards up. They pepper you with a lot of damage, so you want to just kind of stay on your wards, stay on your dots. We're going to focus her in the back. Oh, luckily I didn't get hit by that. Now this, you can drop an ulti. We got a boss coming up, so we're not going to. We're just going to do lightning attacks, get our resources. We got a Venom Collar in the back. Plans change. Oh, fuck. You want to keep your wards up. Don't panic. Keep your wards up. Yeah, this is... for most classes, this part is a little... This round is really annoying. Not so much for a Magicka Sorc, just because you are so tanky. But that's just part of knowing how to survive with any class. Do a little sustain. Pull him in. Buff up with Power Surge. We're going to do full lightning attacks, because we are a little bit low on resources. Once we get to full, we'll go back to normal DPSing. Now this, you want to kill one of these archers. When you do that, he's going to start screaming. You get underneath the other archer. We're just going to build resources once again. Why that exploded there. We are so fucked right now. That is fucking dumb. Like, I wasn't even anywhere near it. Alright, we might recover. We might recover because we're Sorc. Oh yeah, we're gonna recover. Kill this guy. Kind of pull him over to the other one. He's gonna start screaming. Hopefully that was good. Yep. Now we execute. And the round's over. Sometimes those poison plumes randomly explode. We got really unfortunate there that it basically exploded right when we were... Like, you can't leave that circle. So if you get hit by one and you're a Magicka class, if you're Stam and that happens to you, you're dead. You just respawn, start over, you got RNG'd. If you're Magicka, keep your ward up. Because it's gonna eat your ward first, and then it's gonna eat your health. So you saw me spamming wards. That's the only reason I stayed alive there. And then I purged it off myself, and then I went to just slowly getting my resources back. Because my max Magicka is gonna keep me alive. If I don't have any Magicka, I don't have any shields. I can't sustain. And these guys are just annoying because they heal over and over again. This is just poor on my behalf. Block his uppercut so we don't get CC'd. Execute. Then we take out this totem, or the warding stone, whatever. We're gonna put our dots down right here. We're gonna Destro ult him. And we're just gonna do a full lightning attack just to get some resources before the next round. And that's it. So, pretty good run so far. Hopefully I don't jinx anything. This one these guys are a pretty high priority when they pop up, because they'll shoot a never-ending array of fireballs at you, and you either have to bash it or you kill them before it drops. What we're going to do here is we're going to do full lightnings. Full heavy attack into the guy. Lambert, you're not dying. Now they're going to beat on us a little bit. He's going to do this. Keep your wards up. Just be patient. Come over here, drop this down. Now we're going to take him to the Atronox. We almost have our ulti. We're going to drop it right here. Everything really quickly. We're going to block the Wrecking Blow. going to pull him over here. You don't want to get too much damage like that. See how my health went down a lot? Well, just wanted to show that to you guys, but when these guys pop up, you want to kind of stay close to them, because they will do a shit ton of damage. It's better to be next to them than it is to like try and run away and kite them. We're going to block. Well, we're not going to block. We're just going to get Wrecking Blowed. Cool. Okay, now we're at full resources. This round, you got to watch out for this guy. He's going to be the biggest pain in the ass for you. Keep your wards up because you're going to take damage right here. Blocked. Now we're going to go all the way over to the warding stone. Now in between rounds, you're going to want to keep your wards up if you take damage like I just did there, because you're not going to return health. The cheesiest way to beat this part, you're going to have a bunch of stuff attacking you all at the same time. You have the defense sigil right there. Just pick it up. Everything gets reflected back. You want to take out these King Galds first. And then these guys are super easy. Especially when they're killing themselves. Now this round, we're going to get this. We're going to get an ad right here. We want to block right away because she's going to try and chain us. We want to stop that from happening. We don't want to get chained. She's going to do one thing where she's going to drop Dragonite, and it's basically like a Dragonite. It's that right there. It's that on. It's a Dragonite standard on steroids. You want to block so she doesn't chain you into it. If you get chained into that, you need to get out right away, because it will kill you almost instantly. Her fire attacks do quite a bit of damage, but nothing too serious. But now we're apparently perma-slowed. Hopefully this clears up. There we go. Now we're going to take out these warding stones. Before I take out the last one, one thing I always make the mistake of doing, you want to keep your eyes open to see if that King Gald pops up. Because he's going to randomly... Yeah, he always does this. Okay, we're going to drop our Thunderous Rage right here. If we... See, what you want to do is you want to stop him from doing that. Typically kill him beforehand. My Lambris procced and killed that portal. But if you do it right, you can kill the boss on the first pull. Which, clearly I didn't do it right. But we'll go through the entire mechanics. Can't do damage to him until these are down. Once he pops up, he becomes priority number 1. Because he does this. Keep our wards up. Atronox, do not worry about these. If stuff spawns in the middle, they don't do any damage. They do next to nothing. Just ignore them. I'm going to shoot a fireball. Or try and pull her over here into our dots. Now we just DPS. The round's over. Yeah, so that's what we're at so far, going into the final round, final stage. This gets people hung up because they get here and they get kind of amped up, you know, you're excited because I haven't been here before and I'm going to complete VMA. Remember to do the same thing as everything else. Ads are going to spawn, you're going to do ad trash pulls like this, you're going to let everything come to you, let your Alambris proc, let your dots do their whole thing. Now, the mechanic for this round is you want to pick up, what'll help these rounds go by quicker, is you want to pick up the ghosts. When you pick up 3 ghosts, you do what's called a spectral explosion. You want to stop the archers from hitting you with that. You do what's called a spectral explosion. It stuns the ads and puts them on the ground, and then they just don't do any damage to you because they're stunned. and so you get free DPS that way. If you don't get all three like I just did, like what just happened to me here, you have to go through actually DPSing him. The best way to take out this, like a lot of people die to this fire, what you want to do with him is you hug right next to his body like that, and you go around in a circle. You avoid a lot of the damage that way, you don't have to stack wards, and you just keep DPSing. You want to take out this guy right away. Luckily he spawns right there. Apparently I like triple dash there. That's not a good idea. So now you see I have a Spectral Explosion. I'm going to try and save it. As long as I pick up another ghost when it pops up, I should not lose it. You hear it right there. Now, I'm going to use it right here, and I'm going to use my Destro ulti for the next pull. So, you can either use your Destro ulti for this and save your Spectral Explosion whenever you get it for the next pull, or the other way around. This one, oh, I went to the wrong guy. I'm going to pull up over here. Drop all my dots right here. Belly bounced. And it's over. So not too hard, but just know, like, at the ends of those rounds, getting the Spectral Explosion to stop one round of ads is nice, and then basically just knowing that you have a Destro ult that's going to nuke it. And if you don't have a Destro ult, like you're using Meteor, you save your Meteor right there too. Either way. Oh, we got lightning. Bash that. I wish my Soul Tether had that range. This round, this guy doesn't really do anything. The only thing he's going to do is he's going to Wrecking Blow, which you want to dodge or block. He's going to do that, which does a bunch of damage. But then he will also chain you and put this little thing on the ground, which is a little bit annoying. That will kill you. What we're going to do here, the Spectral Explosion. Once again, you can either drop your ulti here, or you do the Spectral Explosion. I'm going to get my resources back for the next pull. Bash that because he heals himself. Then we're going to keep ward up. Drop our Destro ult. Got a Nightblade in this pull, so we want to make sure he goes down. And the round's over. So yeah. Super easy if you know when to save your ultis and you know when to drop them. But that's what's going to take you guys some time, and hopefully I'm explaining it well so you can cruise through it. This round, the ads aren't as important as the summoner right here. And she got the ghost, which is okay. Oh, wow, that melted me. Okay, I messed up. So, the summoner there is going to be a big pain in the ass. You don't want them to summon the thing in the middle. Yeah. If you die, you have to re-put on Bound Aegis. If you're running Bound Aegis, you have to rebuff up. Now we're going to just kill her right away. Stop playing like a bad Sorc. And we have our dots here. Full charge into this portal. Trying to explain everything, and then I die in the stupidest way possible. We have a Spectral Explosion, which we could use here. See ya. We're gonna avoid the red. I've heard that kills us. Messed up. Oh, this is not good. Alright, so then you kill it. Not exactly the cleanest because I didn't have a spectral explosion. Typically you have your spectral explosion, you pop that, you kill everything before it comes down there. But get our resources back. Now the ghost tries to go through round ads. It's not going to go to the Daedroth, it's going to go to somebody else. And so, because you know that, all you have to do is kind of, you just line yourself up. And it's going to, as long as you're in front, it'll go to you instead of them. I'm just trying to get my resources back because at around 25%, if I remember correctly, this guy spawns some ads. And so we're going to drop our Destro ulti around there. And we're going to try and drop it right here. Now everything's going to come in here, if it comes in here. If it doesn't, then we have to DPS it like this. I'm going to use a spectral explosion right here. Pull everything in. Now this is the final ad before the boss round. So if you're low on resources like I am, you know, and you're not running overload, or you want to get your ulti, that's where you build your ulti a little bit. You got to drop him down to 700 in order to get him to go up top. So we're just going to drop our ulti right here. Hopefully DPS him enough. Nice. We wanted to try and DPS him before this guy spawned, but because we didn't do that, now we have to kill him. Because he'll put a big fire dot on you before you go up top. I normally don't worry about the healing guy. He's basically non-existent in this entire aspect of things. It's the dot that will kill you. Wow. Yeah, I wanted to DPS him down, and then I messed up my resources. So we'll go through the full mechanics, since I don't have the DPS to really do it, since I don't have my ulti. But when our dot's down, we're going to DPS. Dodge the ghost. He's going to start summoning this. We bash him. He's going to summon his guy right here. Now, we want to try and hug this guy and just go around in a circle. Keep our wards up, keep our dots down. We're going to do a full heavy just because now we can. Now typically you can avoid mechanics if you DPS them fast enough. If you can't DPS them fast enough, which is more than fine, you just have to go through the mechanics. You kill the clan fear on the portal, come up here. Up here people die a lot for two reasons. There's a constant dot that's ticking on you, so you want to keep your wards up. And then he also shoots those skulls. So you have to kind of like keep your head on a swivel. Just look at him. You'll see him charging back his hand. Basically, you'll get the timing down, and you will be able to dodge it. So he's doing it now. Now I dodge roll. He shoots a skull. He misses. I put wards up. I keep my power surge up because this is going to heal me. He's going to do a skull thing again. Now he misses. When he summons these, you want to try and get behind him. They'll go faster and faster. If you do not get behind that, what happens is you get knocked down. Daedroth is downstairs. You have to kill the Daedroth, and then you come back up here. And I'm going to get hit by that, and probably by that one. Oh, this is not good. I'm definitely getting knocked down. All right, so we'll just get knocked down. So if you get knocked down, you have to come down here. You have to kill this stuff. We're just going to drop our test roll. We'll go back up and do it all over again. Show you the whole mechanics. You get stunned. Those ghosts do a shit ton of damage. Oh my god. Now he's going to do that. We're going to dodge roll. Keep our wards up until our power surge can heal us. Kill all the things. He knocks us down. Now if we're far away, we have to get to him and bash him really quick, because he's going to shoot skulls. Now, what you do for this is you pick up the 3 ghosts, and then he goes on the ground, and it's over. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to try and get... Now, there's a summoner there, and if your DPS is super low, you have to worry about him, but I don't think we're going to have to. So we're just going to pick up the 3 ghosts, right there. We're going to pick up the ghost, Spectral Explosion right here. Dodge roll that, kill the ads, Mage's Wrath. How are you not dead? Wow. So that's the long way to do it. If your DPS is higher, once you get better at it, you can avoid a bunch of mechanics. Like you can, I've had it on multiple characters where basically you drop your ulti right here, you drop them down to 700. And then you go immediately up top, and you avoid the Daedroth, you avoid everything, you kill the 3 things up top, you don't get knocked down. If you get knocked down, you just be patient like that. It doesn't mean it's over, it just means you have to kill everything and you have to come back up top. Don't feel like you're pressured. Like I knew, that was just a bad drop for me. I didn't have much stamina, I couldn't catch up to it, I couldn't get back to it. I just accepted it, I dropped my ulti, came back up top, did that. It's not too hard. You just have to know that you either have to have amazing DPS to burn the mechanics, or you just know the mechanics and then you beat it naturally. So that's going to be the end of this video for the Magicka Sorcerer. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was informative. Oh, we got a Maelstrom Greatsword. I bet it is charged. That's going to be my guess. Wow. What a drop. That's the first time I've ever gotten that weapon. Okay. So that's going to be the end of my video. If you have any questions, please comment in the section below. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.